Most people think having a clean house is just about discipline or having extra time. But it's not. It's about psychology. Why do some people feel an intense, quiet calm in an organized space, while physical clutter silently drains their focus, raises their cortisol, and exhausts their nervous system without them even looking at it? Today, we are breaking down the hidden mental patterns of people who keep a spotless home without stress, burnout, or relying on motivation. Welcome back to Sigma Intelligence. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to maintain a perfectly ordered environment effortlessly, it's easy to assume they are simply obsessed with chores or possess a superhuman level of willpower. But behavioral psychology reveals a much deeper operational reality. The state of your outer world is intimately bound to the architecture of your inner world. When a house is consistently clean, it isn't an act of arbitrary vanity. It is a sophisticated strategy for emotional regulation, cognitive optimization, and mental safety. Today, we are moving past generic cleaning tips. We are dissecting the peer-reviewed neuroscience of cognitive load, exploring how physical order protects your brain from chronic stress loops, and decoding the exact identity-driven shifts that transform cleanliness from an exhausting chore into automatic behavior. To map out why people maintain a clean space, we must first analyze what clutter actually does to human neural processing. Neuroscientists at Princeton University used functional MRI technology to track how the human brain processes visual environments. The data revealed something startling. Physical clutter acts as a constant, aggressive drain on your finite mental energy. Every single loose item, unwashed dish, or disorganized pile in your peripheral vision competes for your brain's attention. Your visual cortex is forced to constantly filter out this background chaos, running subtle computational cycles just to keep you focused on the task at hand. This is what psychologists call a heavy cognitive load. People who keep their homes clean aren't working harder. They are protecting their brain's processor. They understand intuitively that a messy room forces the brain into an active, low-grade processing loop. By maintaining physical order, they eliminate thousands of micro-distractions. This architectural cleanliness frees up cognitive RAM, dramatically reducing mental fatigue and allowing them to preserve their deep focus for high-level creative and professional execution. Beyond cognitive capacity, a clean home serves as a vital structural pillar for an individual's psychology, reinforcing what behavioral science calls an internal locus of control. An internal locus of control is the deeply held belief that you have the agency and power to steer your own life, rather than being a passive victim of external circumstances or chaotic events. Modern life is inherently unpredictable. You cannot control macroeconomic shifts, corporate reorganizations, or the behavior of other people. This persistent unpredictability frequently triggers a subtle, systemic sense of helplessness within the subconscious mind. For highly self-aware and strategic individuals, the home is a clean baseline where order can be absolute. When you clean a counter, organize a desk, or make a bed, you are executing an immediate, visible transformation from chaos to structure. This micro-victory functions as a powerful psychological feedback loop. It tells your nervous system that you are the primary operator of your immediate environment. Maintaining a clean house is a daily, physical manifestation of self-efficacy, an intentional act that grounds your mind and reminds you of your capacity to create order out of chaos everywhere else. There is a common misconception that people with pristine homes are driven by anxiety or rigid obsession. While extreme perfectionism can certainly be a coping mechanism for internal distress, true, effortless cleanliness is actually rooted in nervous system safety. When you live in a state of chronic mess, your subconscious interprets the environment as unfinished business. This activates the Zeigarnik Effect, the psychological principle where the brain stays stuck in a state of background tension over incomplete tasks. This constant, unresolved loop keeps your sympathetic nervous system in a state of light, low-grade alertness, gently dripping cortisol into your blood. In contrast, people who keep their space clean are highly sensitive to their baseline stress indicators. For them, wiping down a counter or putting things away isn't an exhausting chore driven by external expectations. It is a proactive safety ritual for their nervous system. They clean because their minds associate physical order with psychological decompression. They are engineering a literal sanctuary, a predictable, low-stimulus environment where their parasympathetic nervous system can safely transition into a true rest and digest state, allowing for deep cellular recovery and genuine peace of mind. Look at your immediate physical surroundings right now. If your room is cluttered, your desk is piled high, and your environment is chaotic, are you actually dealing with a complicated life, or are you letting your physical space slowly drain the exact mental clarity you need to fix it? Your environment isn't neutral. It is either actively building your focus or quietly stealing it away. So how do you cross the bridge from struggling to stay tidy to maintaining an effortlessly clean space? The answer lies in shifting your operational engine from discipline to identity. In his foundational work on behavioral science, James Clear notes that sustainable habits are never built on a foundation of raw motivation or willpower. Motivation is variable. It disappears when you are tired, stressed, or overworked. The people who effortlessly maintain a clean home do not wake up every morning and engage in a painful mental negotiation about whether they should clean. They don't rely on discipline because they have automated the behavior through a clean identity shift. They don't say, "I am trying to keep my house clean." Instead, their internal script is simply, "I am someone who respects my environment." When cleanliness becomes a core pillar of your identity and self-respect, your habits change automatically. You put the dish in the dishwasher immediately, not because you have to, but because leaving it there violates your internal standard of who you are. The action shifts from an external chore to an automatic behavior pattern, requiring zero conscious willpower to maintain. Keeping a clean house isn't about rigid perfectionism, and it isn't an arbitrary standard imposed by society. It is a calculated, strategic design choice for your mind. Your home is the physical container of your consciousness. When you care for that container, you are actively caring for your mental clarity, your cognitive focus, and your emotional stability. You can continue letting physical clutter run background processing loops in your brain, adding unnecessary friction to an already demanding life. Or you can decide to take control of your perimeter, audit your immediate environment, and close the open files in your space. Clear the visual landscape. Build the ritual of self-respect. Let your environment work for you. If this deep psychological analysis brought clarity to your habits, hit that like button, subscribe to Sigma Intelligence, and leave a comment below. Does a messy room affect your ability to think clearly, and are you ready to rewrite your environment script? Let's discuss the behavioral psychology in the comments below. I will see you in the next video.